Hey guys, back at it. This is day 282 in my 1 year daily diary challenge. This challenge was prompted after I completed a 100-day challenge, and that was intuitively prompted through a meditation session. So if you're interested to listen into those first 100 days, please pop back to those first 100 days and do listen in. Otherwise, let's just get started. Day 282. So today is a Thursday and it's a normal school day. So got the kids up and ready for school. My daughter got up and we got ready to go first. And then I took her to school and came home. And then got my son up and ready for school as well. He has been a little draggy and resisting going again. So we are so close to track out. We are less than a week away, and I know that they're ready for the break. So they've been doing a lot of testing and getting ready for the end of the year. So that's a lot of stuff that they've had to do at school. So I'm sure that he's a little fatigued from all of that. But anyway, we got up and I got him to school, and then I got home and did a quick yoga session. So just a little bit of stretching like I normally do in the morning. I had an appointment on the phone with my financial advisor, and then later on I had an appointment on the phone as well with a financial advisor from that program I did. So I first talked to my financial advisor about a potential personal line of credit and how that looked and all the details about it, and got some clarity. And that was a great conversation to have. I felt really energized and in a vibe today, like just, killing it, on top of the world, just like happy, excited. I pulled out my computer and started charging it, and got on a few different websites to get into my business email, connect with a business community that I hadn't quite set up my profile for. So as I was, doing a lot of computer work and having these phone calls, I was just, still trying to stay in that mode of relaxation and empowerment. So after that financial call in the morning, I did a longer yoga session. So I pulled out my mat, I turned on my DVD, and I just got into it. So that was a longer session, and I felt really good doing that. And after that, I was able to get on that financial call with the advisor from the program, and we talked about all the different options, and that at my current state, I'm not really in need of any emergency help, so to speak. So like some people have really bad, previous years of taxes. Some people have like W-2 income. Some people have income already from the businesses. But right now where I'm at, it doesn't seem like the program is something that I need right this minute. So they did put a note and set up a call for July, somewhere between July and October, and we will revisit and see where I'm at. So I didn't feel defeated or disappointed. I felt like it was exactly what needed to happen. And so throughout the day, I was like, following them on social media, like the coaches, to see like what they were about and to see kind of like the things that they do, the vibe that they are. Then I opened up the computer and started to get into some, like I said, this business community that I had signed up for, and then realized that it was, just had a yawn there, clearing some energy or something. I was invited by a friend of mine, a connection through the coffee industry, to join this community, and I just haven't. I started like a basic profile, but I hadn't added any details or anything, so I got on there, I added details, I, tried to connect with people. So like it's kind of like a social media platform. So you send requests to other people and, yeah, but then I realized it was time to go get my daughter from school. And so I got up and I got myself ready and I was picking up some storage bins on the way to go pick her up from school. So I made sure I was ready for that, stopped and got the bins. The lady was so cute. She was like commenting on my hair, and I got the bins in the car and went to the school to go get her. So in Carline, just have been feeling the last couple of days like it's time to release, just release people, and going through my contacts, going through my, Instagram, going through my Facebook, going through all of my friends and all of my contacts and reaching out to certain people and just giving that notice of like, hey, I thank you so much for, if it was somebody I was dating, like just the thank you and then the release of, I don't necessarily think this is lining up with, how I'm feeling. I don't copy and paste a message anymore. I literally just feel how my words are coming out for that person specifically, because each person is different. But it's basically the same thing, like gratitude for connecting, gratitude for, their energy, their time, and then, just trying to be in tune with myself and recognize that this connection doesn't feel right. So I did reach out to one of the Florida guys I hung out with over the weekend, and I did reach out to my Florida crush and let him know that I didn't think that the connection was something that I wanted to continue. It's not that there wasn't anything wrong with him. I just was being really real with myself because we had a marathon date. It was an overnight. It was like a whole day. We have been talking quite a lot on the phones. We've gotten to know each other. It's been really cute and really fun. And we have a lot of common interests. But when we were there in person with each other and hanging out at his house, I'm not being judgmental, but I'm just observing that I am a very, very naturally minded hippie mom who walks barefoot in the, in the grass and the dirt on the sidewalk. I'll walk barefoot sometimes in places people don't want you to walk barefoot in because they think it's yucky. I am not a germaphobe. I'm not going to wear a mask again. I am not going to get the vaccines. I just am very, like I said, hippie, crunchy, naturally minded. So that was a thing that I noticed that he was saying, he had to go away for the weekend. He was going to fly, so he was going to wear a mask, and he always brings sanitizer. He doesn't touch the handles for the doors. He, wanted me to take a shower after I got in from the airport and before bed. And it was just a lot of these, I don't know necessarily that that's a deal breaker in a short-term relationship, but it's a deal breaker in a long-term relationship because, of course, we can each give a little bit in that, but I do think that there's some, I know that he's holding on to that way harder than I am. And so I just want to be respectful of his space. And then also while we're hanging out, he said a lot of things about wanting his alone time and making sure he had his space and his time to be by himself and in his, his house and, doing things with his friends. And I respect that totally. And I don't know what our relationship would look like down there, but it was just such a present, upfront thing that he kept talking about. And so I was these things I really feel don't align. And I want to respect him and respect his space and the words that he's saying and the feelings that he's having. And maybe he doesn't actually realize it, but So I just, sent a message being like, hey, it was great to hang out with you. I really loved our connection. But I just don't feel like it's going to continue and it's going to be able to be something serious. And I don't want to, waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time. And I want to make space for somebody who's actually supposed to be there and be your partner. And he had a hard time because he said, he still really had strong feelings for me. And if I was sure, and so he had a harder time letting go and releasing, which was fine and okay because I was able to sit there and communicate and make sure he understood what I meant and understood the reasoning behind it, and that it just comes down to my intuition and my gut feeling. And I can't tell you how many times the word try has come up and I just want to remove it and say something else, but it just keeps coming out. So I am being in tune with my intuition a little bit more than normal, and I am tapping in and honing in and zoning into that feeling when my gut tells me something and I need to just go with it versus ignoring it and being in a situation that I don't want to be in. So while this was a really fun relationship, there was nothing wrong, there was nothing bad. It was just that my gut told me that it wasn't right. And so we have the full moon coming up, and it's really a time to release. And I've been feeling that release even before the full moon. So this was the day of release. That was in Carline. And so I picked up my daughter from school. We connected a little bit, and then I had to take her. I was taking her, taking her to an appointment. And so we got in the car, we drove to the appointment, she did the appointment. While she was in the appointment, again, I was just on the phone communicating, making sure I was wrapping up all loose ends. And for the most part, the guys I communicate with are very open and understanding about it, especially if I lay it out like, hey, this is how I'm feeling and these are the reasons why. And so, yeah, that was that. And I did have a few more people on the dating app contact me. And I've been doing something different where if somebody sends me a like, I will look at their profile. I'll see instantly if I say, no, this just doesn't seem right, and then decline. Or if it seems like, this is interesting, maybe not somebody I would have chosen myself. I'll send a message and say, thank you for the like. I really, like this part of your profile or whatever. Even if it doesn't go farther than that, at least I'm sending something in return. So that's something new I've been doing, and just being open to connection. And I think I'm starting to get closer to fatigue, and I just want to be nah, not doing anything right now. So visions and dreams and things I've been having are more of connection in person, connection in community, connection with friends, connection that's maybe less romantic. So we'll see what goes on and how I'm feeling as the days move through the full moon. But that's kind of where I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this purge of relationships and purge of what I thought I needed at the moment. So that's what I've been doing. And we finished her appointment and got back to the house. And then when we got back to the house, my daughter got into homework. My son got into homework. He was supposed to take a shower, my son, but he kind of avoided it. And then I fell asleep on the sofa watching a show. My daughter and I were watching a murder mystery show. And yeah, so falling asleep, she woke me up and was like, Mom, it's time to go to bed. So we all went up to sleep, and And yeah, that was the end of the night. So it was a long day. It was a full day. It was an exciting day. There was a lot of things that happened, a lot of connections, a lot of cycles ending. It's just, it's so amazing and also not at the same time to release things and to let go of what you thought was going to happen. And I have been listening to David Gingham, and I'm pretty sure that's how you say his last name. I don't know if I'm botching it, but he talks a lot about Kabbalah. And so I've been listening to his podcast, and a lot of the things that he's saying are resonating really hard with me. And it's also making almost like a full circle, kind of back to biblical religion that I was like so heavy against because of leaving the church. And it literally wasn't the actual Bible, it was mostly the church and the structure. So for me to hear more about Kabbalah and what it is, and now kind of like getting into trying to, get more details about that. I'm very excited to listen to more and all the things he's saying. And so one thing he was saying was that throughout your day, just like be in the zone, like you're the most amazing, the most wonderful, the most blessed, the most lucky, like all the things. And you have your vibe of you're killing it and you're manifesting and you're doing all these amazing things because of your vibration. But then at night, when you go to sleep, completely release everything and acknowledge that it wasn't you, that it was the universe, that it was the creator, that you had no part in it other than being the vessel. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. And just having that like two sides to the coin. So I've been trying to implement that in my morning, evening ritual and manifestations, mantras, empowerment statements. So we'll see how that goes because I just started it. So it was a lovely day, like I said, full of lots of things. Definitely getting ready for the weekend. I have the kids this weekend, so we're going to get into something. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, for listening, for supporting me that way, subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting, all the things or none of the things. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.